Greek mythologies, love stories. The love that soothed the storm. Halcyon and Ceyx. In the ancient kingdom of Thessaly, nestled along the Aegean coast, there lived a couple whose love story would become legend. Halcyon, the daughter of the wind god, and Ceyx, a daring seafarer and son of the morning star. Theirs was a love that transcended mortal boundaries, a love that would face trials from both the heavens and the depths of the sea. Halcyon was known throughout the kingdom for her breathtaking beauty, her laughter like a melody, and her eyes as bright as the clearest of summer skies. Ceyx, equally renowned, was celebrated for his courage and seamanship, a man who could navigate even the wildest of seas with unwavering confidence. The two first met at the royal palace of Thessaly, where Ceyx had arrived on a magnificent ship, seeking refuge from a tempestuous storm. Halcyon, the daughter of the king, was captivated by the stranger's tales of distant lands and daring adventures. And Ceyx, in turn, was enchanted by the princess's grace and kindness. As the days passed, their friendship blossomed into love, a love so profound that it seemed as if the fates themselves had destined their union. Their love, however, was not without challenges. Ceyx was a seafarer by nature, and the call of the open sea was a constant presence in his heart. One day, unable to resist the allure of the ocean, Ceyx announced his intent to embark on a perilous voyage to consult the oracle of Apollo. He believed that the gods could grant him the guidance he sought, and though it pained him to leave Halcyon, he pledged to return to her side as soon as his quest was complete. Halcyon, filled with love and understanding, bade him farewell, knowing that the sea was an integral part of who he was. She placed her trust in the gods and in their love, praying for his safe return every day, her heart heavy with longing. Ceyx's journey, however, did not unfold as he had hoped. The wrathful god of the sea, Poseidon, stirred the waters into a fury, summoning a violent storm that engulfed Ceyx's ship. The vessel was torn apart, and Ceyx was cast into the roiling waves. He fought valiantly, but was ultimately claimed by the relentless sea. Meanwhile, in the palace of Thessaly, Halcyon's heart ached with an unexplainable sorrow. She sensed that something was amiss, and her dreams were filled with visions of her beloved in peril. In despair, she prayed to the gods for news of Ceyx, hoping against hope that he was still alive. The goddess Hera, the queen of the gods, heard Halcyon's prayers and took pity on the grieving princess. She sent her messenger, Iris, to deliver the heartbreaking news of Ceyx's fate. Halcyon was devastated, her tears flowing like the rains of a tempest. In her grief, Halcyon resolved to join her beloved in death. She climbed to the highest tower of the palace, raised her arms to the heavens, and leaped into the sea. But the gods, who had watched over this love story from the beginning, intervened once more. As Halcyon fell, Iris transformed her into a bird, a beautiful kingfisher, with radiant plumage and a melodious song. She was granted the power to calm the waves and protect sailors during the short period of tranquility, known as the Halcyon Days, that occurred each winter, coinciding with the time when she and Ceyx had been together. In the depths of the sea, Ceyx's spirit was also transformed, the god of sleep. Hypnos visited him in a dream, bringing him news of Halcyon's fate and her transformation into a kingfisher. Ceyx's soul found solace in knowing that they were not truly parted, that their love had transcended the boundaries of life and death. The god of the sea, Poseidon, moved by the enduring love of Halcyon and Ceyx, decreed that the seas would remain calm during the Halcyon Days in honor of the couple's love and sacrifice. This annual respite provided sailors with safe passage during the treacherous winter months, a testament to the enduring power of love to calm even the fiercest of storms. As the years passed, Halcyon and Ceyx's love story became a legend, celebrated throughout Thessaly and beyond. The sight of a kingfisher during the Halcyon days was seen as a symbol of hope and protection, a reminder that love could transcend even the greatest of challenges. In the tranquil waters of the Aegean, the kingfisher's song could often be heard, a melodic tribute to the enduring love of Halcyon and Ceyx. Their love, once bound by mortal limitations, had been transformed into something timeless and eternal, a love that could soothe the storms of life and remind all who heard their story that true love knows no bounds. The tale of Apollo and Hyacinthus, love and tragedy. In the golden age of ancient Greece, when the gods walked among mortals, there was a story of love and tragedy that unfolded amidst the splendor of Mount Olympus. It was a tale of two souls brought together by fate, only to be torn apart by an unforeseen twist of destiny. The story of Apollo, the radiant god of the sun, and Hyacinthus, a young and beautiful prince. Hyacinthus was the son of King Pierus of Thessaly, renowned for his grace, charm, and athletic prowess. The young prince was adored by all who knew him, but his heart belonged to the radiant god Apollo. Their love blossomed during their encounters on the lush fields and within the sacred groves of Thessaly, where they shared laughter, stories, and moments of intimacy beneath the golden sun. Apollo, the god of music, prophecy, and the arts, was captivated by Hyacinthus's beauty and spirit. He taught the young prince the art of archery, and they spent countless hours together, basking in the warmth of their affection. One fateful day, as Apollo and Hyacinthus practiced their archery, a tragedy unfolded. Apollo, renowned for his precision, aimed his arrow with unerring accuracy. The arrow struck the target, but it ricocheted off a stone and hurtled towards Hyacinthus. Before the prince could react, the arrow struck him in the head, mortally wounding him. Apollo rushed to Hyacinthus's side, but the wound was fatal. He cradled the dying prince in his arms, tears streaming down his divine face. He called upon the healer god, Asclepius, but even his powers could not save the young prince. As Hyacinthus breathed his last, Apollo was overcome with grief. He swore to honor his beloved by creating a flower in his memory, a flower as beautiful as Hyacinthus himself. From the prince's spilled blood, Apollo caused a striking new flower to bloom, its petals bearing the letters A, the cry of grief in Greek, reminding all who saw it of the tragic loss of Hyacinthus. The grief-stricken god could not bear to let Hyacinthus' soul be claimed by the underworld, so he made a plea to the gods. They responded by allowing the young prince to spend half of the year in the realm of the living, where he could be with Apollo, and the other half in the land of the dead, as was the fate of all mortals. For 6 months each year, when the flowers of spring and summer blossomed, Apollo and Hyacinthus were reunited. They walked together through the meadows, sang songs of love, and danced beneath the radiant sun. It was a time of joy and happiness, a time when the world was filled with light and warmth. Yet, as the days grew shorter and the air turned cool, Hyacinthus was called back to the realm of the dead. Apollo's heart ached with sorrow as he watched his beloved prince fade away, his laughter and his touch slipping through his divine fingers like a fleeting dream. The changing seasons mirrored Apollo's own heartache. As winter descended, he withdrew from the world, and the land grew cold and barren. The world mourned with him, as the flowers and the music that had once flourished in his presence now lay dormant. But with the return of spring, hope would bloom once more. Apollo's joy was renewed as he welcomed Hyacinthus back into his arms. The world burst into color and song, celebrating their love once again. Together, they reveled in the beauty of the world, cherishing the moments they could spend together. As the years passed, their love endured, a testament to the enduring power of love to transcend the boundaries of life and death. Apollo and Hyacinthus' love story became a symbol of the fleeting yet profound nature of human existence. A reminder that love could be both a source of joy and a cause of sorrow. But it was a force that would forever endure. Their story was told in songs and poems, passed down through generations as a tale of love, loss, and the eternal bonds that connected mortals and gods. The flower that bore Hyacinthus' name continued to bloom each spring, a reminder of the love that had once flourished beneath the radiant sun. And so, the love of Apollo and Hyacinthus became a cherished part of Greek mythology, a story that spoke to the hearts of mortals and gods alike. It was a story of love's enduring legacy, a love that had been tested by tragedy and had emerged stronger and more beautiful than ever before. A love that would continue to bloom and flourish with each passing spring, a love that would never truly fade away. The Odyssey of Love, Odysseus and Penelope. In the realm of ancient Greece, amidst the epic tales of heroes and gods, there existed a love story that transcended time and distance. The legendary love between Odysseus, the cunning hero of Ithaca, and Penelope, his steadfast and loyal wife. Odysseus, known far and wide for his wit and bravery, set sail for the distant shores of Troy, leaving behind his beloved wife, Penelope, and their infant son, Telemachus. The call of adventure, honor, and duty beckoned him to join the great expedition to reclaim Helen of Troy, the beautiful queen, whose abduction had ignited the flames of war. For 10 long years, Odysseus and his fellow Greek warriors battled the Trojans in a war that would become the stuff of legend. As the years passed, the memory of their homeland, their loved ones, and the warmth of their hearth fires grew fainter. But Odysseus's heart remained anchored to the promise he had made to Penelope, to return to her side no matter the trials and tribulations that lay ahead. Penelope, a woman of wisdom and grace, faced her own trials in Odysseus's absence. She was besieged by suitors who sought her hand in marriage, convinced that the hero of Ithaca would never return. Yet Penelope was resolute in her love and faithfulness. She devised a cunning plan to stave off her suitors, a plan that would test their patience and her devotion. She declared that she would choose a new husband only after she had completed a shroud for her father-in-law, Laertes, who was still alive but frail. By day, she wove the shroud with great skill, but by night, she secretly unraveled her work. In this way, she delayed the inevitable and kept the suitors at bay. Meanwhile, Odysseus and his fellow warriors faced the horrors of war and the unpredictable wrath of the gods. They encountered mythical creatures and navigated treacherous seas, all the while yearning for the warmth of their homeland. The hero's journey was fraught with danger, yet he remained unyielding in his determination to return to Penelope. 10 long years passed before Odysseus and his crew finally emerged victorious from the battle. Scarred ruins of Troy. Victory had come at a high cost, and the journey home was fraught with peril. The wrath of the gods, particularly the sea god Poseidon, haunted them at every turn, and only Odysseus's cunning and resourcefulness allowed them to survive. As the hero's ship, battered and weathered, sailed homeward, his heart was filled with anticipation and dread. He longed to be reunited with Penelope and Telemachus, to hold them in his arms and to share the tales of his epic odyssey. But he knew that the challenges were far from over. Back in Ithaca, Penelope's suitors grew increasingly impatient and bold. They devised schemes to force her hand in marriage, and the palace was filled with revelry and debauchery. Yet Penelope's heart remained steadfast, and she clung to the hope of Odysseus's return. Odysseus, guided by the wisdom of the goddess Athena, who'd always watched over him, arrived on the shores of Ithaca. Disguised as a beggar, he ventured into the city to gather information about the state of his kingdom and the loyalty of his subjects. He was both heartened and disheartened by what he learned. The loyalty of some, the betrayal of others, and the indomitable spirit of his son, Telemachus. Telemachus, now a young man, had grown up hearing tales of his father's exploits and had always held onto the hope of his return. He had embarked on his own journey to find his father, and his unwavering determination to reunite with Odysseus filled the palace with a sense of hope and purpose. As Odysseus continued his covert exploration of Ithaca, he eventually revealed his true identity to Telemachus and devised a plan to confront the suitors and reclaim his kingdom. With Athena's guidance, they armed themselves for the inevitable showdown. The climactic moment arrived when Odysseus, now revealed to all as the hero of Ithaca, confronted the suitors in a contest of archery. The suitors were invited to string Odysseus's mighty bow and shoot an arrow through 12 axe heads, a feat only the true hero could achieve. One by one, the suitors failed, and it was Odysseus's turn. He effortlessly strung the bow, aimed, and released the arrow with unerring accuracy. The arrow sped through the 12 axe heads, leaving no doubt as to his identity. The suitors, their arrogance and treachery exposed, were swiftly defeated by Odysseus and Telemachus. The palace was cleansed of their presence, and justice was served. Penelope, her heart filled with both joy and disbelief, was finally reunited with her beloved husband after 2 decades of separation. Odysseus and Penelope's reunion was a moment of profound emotion, a testament to the enduring power of love and fidelity. Their trials and tribulations had tested the strength of their love, but it had endured, unshaken by the passage of time and the trials of life. In the years that followed, Odysseus and Penelope ruled Ithaca together, their love serving as an example of the enduring bonds that could withstand the tests of fate and the challenges of the world. Their love story became a celebrated part of Greek mythology, a symbol of love's resilience and the hope that, even in the face of adversity, true love could always find its way back home. The love of Aphrodite and Adonis, a tale of beauty and tragedy. In the realm of ancient Greece, where gods and mortals mingled, the love story of Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, and Adonis, the strikingly handsome mortal, unfolded amidst the backdrop of passion and tragedy. Their tale is one that transcends time, a testament to the enduring power of love, desire, and the fleeting nature of life. Adonis was a young man of unparalleled beauty. His golden hair gleamed like the sun, and his eyes sparkled like the stars in the night sky. He possessed a charisma that attracted the admiration of all who beheld him, but it was the goddess Aphrodite who found herself irresistibly drawn to him. Aphrodite, the embodiment of love and desire, was struck by the mortal's beauty when she first laid eyes on him. His charm and grace awakened in her a love that transcended her power and understanding. She longed for Adonis as she had longed for no other. Adonis, in turn, was equally captivated by Aphrodite, the goddess of love herself. Her radiant beauty, her enchanting presence, and her passionate nature ignited a fire within him that he had never known before. Their love bloomed like a rare and exquisite flower, intoxicating and all-consuming. Yet, their love was not without its challenges. Aphrodite and Adonis's union stirred the envy and ire of Ares, the god of war and Aphrodite's former lover. Ares could not bear to see Aphrodite's affection diverted from him, and he conspired to drive a wedge between the mortal and the goddess. Ares assumed the guise of a wild boar, a creature known for its ferocity and strength. One fateful day, as Adonis ventured into the forest to hunt, he encountered the seemingly innocuous boar. Unaware of the god's deceit, Adonis pursued the beast, determined to prove his bravery to Aphrodite. The chase was perilous, and the boar led Adonis deeper into the forest, away from safety. Ares, in his true form, intervened, and the two engaged in a brutal battle. Adonis, though brave and skilled, was no match for the god of war. As the clash of divinity and mortality raged on, Aphrodite, alerted to the danger by the cries of Adonis, rushed to his side. She arrived to find her beloved Adonis gravely wounded, the boar's tusks having pierced his flesh. Her heart ached with despair as she cradled him in her arms. Despite her divine powers, Aphrodite could do nothing to save Adonis. She wept tears of sorrow and love, her tears turning into a delicate flower, the anemone, whose petals bore the mark of her grief. As Adonis lay dying, he and Aphrodite shared a final, passionate embrace, their love undiminished by the cruel hand of fate. His last breath was filled with her name, and he departed from the mortal realm, leaving Aphrodite to mourn his loss. Aphrodite, grief, stricken and inconsolable, could not bear to part with Adonis. She sought the counsel of Zeus, the king of the gods, and begged him to allow Adonis to spend a portion of each year with her, in the realm of the living. Zeus, moved by her despair, granted her request. And so it was decreed that Adonis would spend half of the year in the realm of Hades, with Persephone, the queen of the underworld, and the other half in the world of the living, with Aphrodite. Their love, despite the trials and tragedies that had befallen them, endured as a symbol of the power of desire and the depth of love's passion. Aphrodite and Adonis' story became a celebrated part of Greek mythology, a reminder that even in the face of mortality and adversity, love could be a force that transcended the boundaries of life and death. The anemone, with its delicate petals and its association with Aphrodite's tears, became a symbol of love and remembrance, a tribute to the enduring bond between the goddess of love and the mortal who had captured her heart. In the hearts of mortals and gods alike, the love of Aphrodite and Adonis lived on as a testament to the enduring power of love, a love that could transform even the most tragic of circumstances into a story of beauty, desire, and the eternal quest for love's embrace. Thank you for watching. If you like this kind of video, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell to get notified whenever we post a new video.